Welcome to Chasing Winners. Peter O'Neill, David Shortte and Jesse Erenshaw are about to join you to preview the meeting from Mandurah in the Peel tonight. They will also look in depth at the meeting from Cannington tomorrow night. The boys will also be joined by Ryan Levitsky, who will provide his best over the 2 nights of chasing. Let the chase begin.
And a very good morning, everyone, and welcome along to Chasing Winners. Looking forward to a big weekend of greyhound racing. Jesse Erenshaw will be with us in a moment. He'll be calling the chase action tonight, and the WA Oaks final tomorrow night at Cannington sees a very good field engaged. David Shortte is about to join us in the studios of TAB Radio Racing and Sport to take a look at this card tonight at Mandurah and tomorrow night at Cannington. How are you, Shorty?
I'm very well indeed. Thank you, Pete. Jesse, everyone tuned into Chasing Winners. Great to be with you on this Friday morning. Make the most of it. Last bit of Cannington action this weekend for some 4.5 to 5 months. So we'll make the most of that Group 2 feature out there on Saturday night. Of course, Group 2 WA Oaks, brought to us by Greyhounds WA, should be a cracking race. Then Sunday, and we're off to Mandurah and Northern for a pretty significant period of time, Pete.
Okay, and Jesse Erenshaw is about to join us as well for this program tonight at Mandurah and Cannington. Once he puts his headset on, we'll be able to say good morning to him. He is in the studio. I can tell our listeners that, not that they can actually see him on the wireless, but he's about to join us. What about the Oaks tomorrow night, Shorty? A race that has been set with a lot of stars that have won the race since 1976 when Venus Ice won, and since then greyhounds, the likes of Zoiler's Crown, who won for Christine Robartson. She's got a runner in on Saturday night. Capobianco for the late Keith Harding was successful, very, very talented chaser. And since then, greyhounds like Cherry Kongwak and Roxy Reason, Grace's Choice, Dance Portrait. We saw Leprechaun Kate and Miss Hot Gossip, Miss Slick, Topline Doovie came across from Tasmania. We also saw the likes of Lenny Danko win for Cosy D'Agostino, Crop Duster and Grace Ali, our Seabrook a few years ago, and then Refined and Rip and Grace last year for the Shane Train.
Yeah, it's a race littered with stars that have won this particular race on the honour roll, Pete, and Saturday night's probably one of the more open editions of the Oaks we've had for a while. The fact that there's a bitch having just a 4th career start as favourite gives you a pretty good idea that it's an open bunch. Miss Envy, she can really run. She's, of course, out of that gun producer, Miss America, and she did win her maiden in 29.53. That's the sort of time standard that would be hard to beat in this race, but she's giving away a fair bit of experience, and she comes up with box number 4. So I think you can make a case for most of the field, to be honest, Pete. It's a really good edition of the Oaks, but it's a very open one.
Jesse Erenshaw, good morning.
Good morning, Pete. Shorty, always a pleasure to be here. Yeah, the Oaks is always a great race. Sort of does tend to live in the shadow of the Derby a little bit, unfortunately, but there has been some great greyhounds to come through the series and win more feature races later on, Pete.
All right, we'll get you saying Derby one day, Jesse. The first tonight at Mandurah gets underway at 6.54. Vacant boxes 3 and 6, and the favourite is Social Equity, currently quoted at $2. Can Damien Cudelli take out the first?
Absolutely. It was a little bit disappointing last week when stepping back up to the 400, but prior 300-metre form was good. Won a mixed 5, 6 and 17.15 from this draw. I think in a reasonably open field. I think Social Equity is the way to go. From 8, Frantic Phyllis was a good winner over the 400 metres last week. Not as quick out early as Social Equity, but a little bit stronger. Third, I'll go with number 2 in Sinrap Miss, and for 4th, number 1 in Trendy Miss. 5, 8, 2, 1, race number 1.
I've got the same exacta here. 5 on top, Social Equity from 8, Frantic Phyllis. Next best 1, Trendy Miss, will be strong late, and 7, Zipper His Zip. 5, 8, 1 and 7 for me in the first.
5, 7, 8 and 1 for me in race number 1, with Social Equity for Damien Cudelli being able to record another victory. Let's go to race number 2 on the program tonight, and this one's over the 488 metres. The favourite in what is a fairly tight market is Bagnaia at $2.70. $3 about Cadia Gold and also Sunset Pepe. Good race here for this grade 5.
I thought you could make a case for a few, Pete. I'm going to go with 7 on top, Sunset Pepe. Hasn't been racing with much luck of late. I just think this is the sort of race, if it can nail the start, certainly capable of putting itself up there and into a posse. From 6, Bagnaia, no luck last time out. Prior to that, had been racing really well in town. Number 2, Katie Gold's a greyhound that can, if it gets room early, can really muster and hoon through. It's certainly in with winning claims. And then I had 8, Elsa Baloney. Very rare it misses top 4. 3, West on Odie could show up here. Butter Me Up as well is not out of it. It's a good race, 7, 6, 2, 8.
6, 7, 3 and 2. 6 bag now on top for me. Was a good 29.61 winner last start. For second, or in fact 2 starts ago. For second, number 7, Sunset Pepe, just coming off a fall over the 400 metres back to the 488, a trip that he really enjoys. Has broken 27 seconds here. For third, number 3 in West on Odie, greyhound dropping back through the grades, but won't take long to win one. And for fourth, number 2, Katia Gold, 6, 7, 3, 2, race number 2.
I'm going with Sunset Pepe as well as Shorty, a greyhound who's got a good record from wide draws, so I'll put him on top of number 6, Bagnea, who I've got a high opinion of. That was a really slick run 2 starts ago in defeating Shy Emoji. For third, number 2, Katia Gold, and 4, Butter Me Up, 7, 6, 2 and 4 in race number 2. Race number 3, free for all over the 400 and over the 400 metres. I was about to say 405. That's going back in time, isn't it, Shorty? Ike Bale is the favourite here at $3.
Interesting runner, Ike Bale, former Victorian. There are 3 of them in this particular race, so it's a bit of a guessing game to know exactly how they've gone. We did hear earlier this morning on the Sports Daily, Harry, have a chat to Tim and Digby, and he alluded to the fact that Ike Bale had trialled 22.20. If it can front up on race night and improve a little on that, it's going to take a fair bit of beating. But I just have to go with what I've seen and what I know, and that's the Get a Beer, and is capable of running sub 22.20 on its night in a smallish field. I thought it could land somewhere near the top and from there be hard to beat. From number 8, Ike Bale, running to that trial would see the dog very hard to stop. 4, Madigan is certainly capable, and 2, Vaucluse Bale. Awkward draw to contend with Sunset Blackhawk wanting to get up the track, drawn on its inside, but this dog's got a motor when it's near its top. It's a really tricky race given that we've got 2, 7 and 8 on debut here in WA. We'll learn more out of this race, 5, 8, 4 and 2.
I'll go 1, 4, 8 and 5. Play it safe for the greyhound who has seen the track before, Sunset Blackhawk. Was a little bit disappointing behind Sunset Night during a heat from box number 1. Probably not his best, or not her best box, but I think she's got enough class to come to the fore. She's got a quick personal best of 22.30, which is more than capable here. For second, number 4, Madigan, a greyhound who has run some quick times in the past. Cannington forms a little bit lacklustre, but has been in city class company. For third, number 8 in Ike Bale. Interesting to see how he will go first up as the favourite. And for fourth, number 5 in Get a Beer. 1, 4, 8, 5, race number 3.
I'm happy to go with number 8, Ike Bale, a greyhound who recently was placed behind Big Energy. I know was beaten 10 lengths, but free for all company at Sandown, and then ran third behind Yachi Bale. So very good form, racing against much better greyhounds than what he comes up with against tonight on debut. And he doesn't have a bad record. He's won $150,000 in stake money. So I think he'll do very well over here in WA. So 8 on top, Ike Bale. From number 4, Madigan, who has run that quick time of 22.20. Number 2, Vaucluse Bale, a greyhound who's having his 50th start, his first in Western Australia, and a greyhound who has form behind Hector Forley and Matlock. So another one who's been chasing against some really tough opposition on the East Coast. And number 1, Sunset Blackhawk, 8, 4, 2, 1 in race number 3. Race number 4 on the program as we wait for the scratchings to come through. The favourite is with number 7, West on Boomer, currently quoted at $1.80. A greyhound who has won 4 of 7, Jesse, over this distance and has a good record from wide draws.
Yeah, and proven an open class city company as well. Pete Greyhound did take out the Loot also final, defeating Uncle Tommy, who's a Perth Cup winner in his own right. So he's right down in class here. West on Boomer, I think he's ready to win. From number 1, West on Smokey, a greyhound with good record from an inside draw. He's been racing really well. He's overdue for a win. For third, number 5 in Ripon Tomahawk, the old fella, first up at Mandurah for some time. For third, and for fourth, I'll throw in 4, Sunset Callisto, of some free-for-all efforts over the 400 metre, which have been really solid. 7, 1, 5 and 4, race number 4.
I'll also stick with number 7, West on Boomer, make it a special. It's been unplaced as last 3. You'd initially look at the form if you sort of didn't dig deeper and go 7, 7, 8. How can you be stepping into a dog like this? But you go back and watch the replays of all 3 runs, and the dog has begun well in all of them and then just been badly chopped out. They've been behind Eugenius, Firelighter and Disco Daisy. go to the prior two performances from box 6 at Cannington, wins in 29.89 and 29.94. They're superior form to the majority of the opposition that it runs into here. You go back, hand a little further than that. There's wind here in 27.22. That sort of performance was from this draw, and that sort of run here would be getting the chocks. So I'll stick with number 7, West On Boomer, to bounce back to winning form tonight. From number 1, West On Smoky, the kennel mate's got plenty of class. With a safe getaway, it'll be hard to stop. 8, Harley Manelli, missed the place for the first time in ages. Hayley Atkins doing a great job with this canine, and it can hit the frame again here at a price. And number 5, my old mate Ripon Tomahawk. He's been a wonderful campaigner. Getting towards the end now.
Shorty, I'll come back with... So, Shorty, I'll just get you to repeat those numbers. I cut you off there in the 4th.
Yeah, certainly. 7, 1, 8 and 5, Pete, for me in race number 4.
I'll go 7, 1, 4 and 5. I like West On Boomer as well. Price is short enough for me, but probably the $1.80 is... In what you're saying, Shorty, it's probably a good price considering the fact that his form's very good down at Mandurah, and if you take out those last 3 runs against some pretty good opposition where he found trouble, he'd be probably shorter.
I tend to agree. I think you've just got to be a little bit forgiving for those last few runs, and Dog's handled wide draws, no problem at all in the past. It's run quick time from this very draw. Vacant box on the inside. Ripon Tomahawk will want to get down to the inside. Harley Manelli not known to be a real pinger over this sort of trip, so it's going to get the room, and from there she'll be able to muster through and get a good look at the arm.
Now, just scratchings just coming through from Samara, and Madigan comes out of race number 3, guys. So race 3, number 4, Madigan is out. The reserve out of race 5, reserves out of race 6, and also race 8. And go down to the last, and Yaki Express is a scratching as well. So race 9, number 2, which was going to be my top selection. So can't win tonight. My selections here in race number 4, 7, 1, 4 and 5, West On Boom, I think will be very, very hard to beat. From 1, West On Smoky, 4, Sunset Callisto, 5, Ripon Tomahawk, 7, 1, 4 and 5 in race number 4. As we go to race number 5, and Figs McGee, the $2.50 favourite, a greyhound who's been chasing well for Lewis Clay, was a really nice winner from a wide draw last start, Shorty.
It was. I'm going to stick with the dog drawn on the inside, though, here in Crooked Kelly. Another chaser that comes into this race off some pretty good form. Last 2 runs have both been good. Comes up with box number 1 here. The greyhounds had a couple of starts from the inside for a placing. That run 2 back from box 2 was very good, 22.40. And then last time out, beaten a narrow margin behind Figs McGee. Had to come from box 5 on that occasion. This time moves to a more favourable alley. So I'll stick with Crooked Kelly on top, make it a special. From number 5, Figs McGee, it's the logical danger. The greyhound did get the better of Crooked Kelly last time out, albeit by a narrow margin. Number 6 in Taming the Tiger is a chaser that's got some good early pace. It may well be a bit of a fly in the ointment for Figs McGee early on in this race. That's why I sort of lean towards the red, but 6 can certainly play a part with that good early pace for Kirsty Moore, and I'll round it out with greyhound number 7 here, Dutch Rambo, a newie for Stevie Vanderkloost. Most of this greyhound's work has been over on the east coast, places like Broken Hill, Healesville, Geelong, Traralgon. So it's certainly seen its fair share of the countryside, Dutch Rambo. I'll throw it in for 4th, 1, 5, 6 and 7.
I'll go 1, 5, 2, 8, 1 Crooked Kelly on top. I thought it was a really nice run behind Figs McGee. Gets the benefit of box number 1. Reverses the box draw on Figs McGee. For 2nd, number 5, Figs McGee. For 3rd, number 2, All About Marbles, an interesting chaser. Did win a novice 3 back in 22.70. And for 4th, number 8 in Glasgow Boy is always thereabouts in the placings. 1, 5, 2, 8, race number 5.
5, Figs McGee on top for me. Really nice win last start for Lewis Clay from the wide draw, as I mentioned earlier. 1, Crooked Kelly is nicely drawn. I agree with what Shorty is mentioning. Number 2, All About Marble, and 3, Every Step. 5, 1, 2, 3 in race number 5. In race number 6, number 2, Our Benson's currently the favourite at $2.45. Just back to Gatton, those numbers confirmed after the photo. 4, 10, 2 and 9. 4, 10, 2 and 9. Which way are you going in the first leg of the quaddie, Jesse?
I'm going... race number 6, isn't it?
Sorry, race number 6 it is, yes.
The chase final, Pete. Looks to be a really good race on paper. I'm with Sunset Nitro. I thought it was a really good win in a heat. 6.25 early. I think you can go a little bit quicker than that to the first peg. Showed a bit of lacked a little bit of early dash like we've seen from Cannington, the way he can hop out, but I think he's getting better and better with every run at Mandurah. He's 4 starts, 3 wins over the trip. I think he's ready to take out a feature event. From number 1 in Barrier Beast, a greyhound who's just proven in these open class company, took out the final of the Good Friday Cup going back in early March, and number 2, our Benson for third greyhound, who was the quickest qualifier here in 22.02. This race has a little bit more speed. And for fourth, number 8, a little bit twisted, who will like the wide draw. 6-1-2-8, race number 6.
I'm going to go on an each-way basis with the Beast, Barrio Beast. Excellent record off the inside draw, 7 for 2 wins, 4 placings. It's just a race with a pile of early pace, and Barrio Beast isn't a dog that's going to be getting involved in any of that. You could just see him punching up there on the inside, smoking the pipe, and if the door's open, Barrio Beast will be really, really strong late. Looks a great sort of roving banker style of play or each way bet. So 1 on top each way at a good price, Barrio Beast. From 2, our Benson was very impressive last week. It does have good record when drawn down near the fence. Similar performance to last week, 22.02, would see it very hard to beat. 6 in Sunset Nightjar. Jesse's 100% right. This dog's got great muster. Just a matter of whether or not it gets a chance to use it to advantage in a field like this. And the well-drawn, little bit twisted out there in box number 8, similar to Barrio Beast. If there's jamming in the middle, this dog could really be the beneficiary and get a bit of a swoop around them, be right there in the mix. 7 tries from box 8, 3 wins, 3 placings, and from box 7, 6 for 3 and 2. So 13 from boxes 7 and 8 for 6 and 5. 11 of 13 in the placings, winning 6 of them. Tells you how much Little Bit Twisted loves that draw. It's certainly one that I'll be working through the novelties as well. But looking for value in the big one to get a little bit of luck. If it does, it'll be strong late each way, Barrio Beast from 2, 6 and 8.
Okay, none of these trainers have won this race before. Who will go on the record books? I think it'll be Cody Charles with our Benson. The greyhound has been chasing really well. Really quick time last start over solid tank in the heat from this draw, 22.02. Personal best, very good record from inside draws. And I think that he can win tonight. The son of Tommy Shelby. From number 7, What a Ripper. A greyhound has been flying down here at this track. Number 8, Little Bit Twisted, loves wide draws. And 1, Barrio Beast, 2, 7, 8 and 1. Probably one of your favourite greyhounds has his name in the record books back in 1997. Shorty, a couple of years after you were born, Car Park Keith.
Oh, what a wonderful campaign a Car Park Keith was. Just under 70 races he went on to win, wasn't it? I think 67 races.
He dominated for so long. Oh. How many did he win in a row? Do you remember?
Oh, I can't remember how many in a row. Most Friday nights through that period of my life, we were going down and watching on a Friday night, and he was just fronting up, winning Friday night after Friday night. He was a very, very special greyhound, Car Park Keith, and Keith Harding at the time was airborne. It was a special time in greyhound racing, and he's a dog that brings back some really fond memories. And
like football stories, Shorty, when our goals that we kicked, they seem to get longer and longer. The stories about how Car Park Keith was named seem to get better and better. There were some very good stories told.
99 starts, 64 wins.
64,
so to
yeah.
do that in under 100 starts is amazing.
Extraordinary, isn't it? 66% winning strike rate.
$52,000 in prize money back in the late 90s.
Amazing. He was an amazing canine.
And a greyhound, Shorty, that we've discussed, and we're coming up in a couple of weeks, yourself, Simo, Craig Evans, and also Mark Botcher, about the top 8 WA greyhounds, and he has been discussed.
Big time. Yeah, I guess the fact it didn't stretch out to maybe the city sprint trip was probably the one thing that maybe goes against him when you're talking about the all-time greats, but as far as 400-metre dogs go, I can't remember many that have gone much better than old Car Park Keith.
Yeah, very good greyhound. So I'll go 2, 7, 8 and 1, our Benton on top. Race number 7, free for all over the 488 metres, and Hinto is the favourite from $1.80 out to $1.85. Vacant box on his inside. A greyhound has won 5 of 7, loves this track and loves outside draws. I'll be putting him on top. From number 2, Sunset Mirage, a greyhound who certainly can fly with galloping room. Number 4, Molfetta Cruz has also got a good record down here, and number 5, Custer Benelli, but Hinto looks very hard to beat.
Yeah, stand out. Geez, a good dog, Hinto. Was beaten last week, but far from disgrace, beaten a very narrow margin behind Barbecue Man, who just kicked up through that first corner and held it out from there. You could see Hinto just doing everything it could to run it down and just missed, but you only need go back 2 starts ago to see how much Hinto loves it here at Mandurah. It was checked 3 or 4 times in the run, came from back in the pack and broke 27 seconds. That's a ridiculous performance when you break it down. He's a really, really just an outstanding chaser. His record tells us that 75 starts, 21 wins, 20 seconds, 14 thirds. That's 55 of 75 top 3. Most of them have been in top grade. I love the dog, and he should be winning again tonight, Hinto, one of the most reliable canines in the business. On top, from greyhound number 2, Sunset Mirage, at 27.14 PB, would see it very competitive here. 4 Malfetta Cruz hasn't had much luck in recent starts, but it's a greyhound that has run really well here in the past. And I'll include number 5, Custard Benelli, who regularly hits the frame. Don't leave out number 8, Jamie Keeping, who goes really well at the Mandurah circuit, but might just get posted out there in box number 8. It will, though, be hitting the hard line, fresh off some very good 652 metre work of late. 7, one of the best bets of the weekend from 2, 4 and 5.
I'll go 7, 4, 2, 1, 7 Hinto on top as well from 4 Malfetta Cruz. It's going to be a pretty tight and interesting contest between these two chasers. It was a nice run behind our Benson in one of those chase heats last week. The time was pretty flash, 22.33 for a greyhound that's known over further. For third, number 2, Sunset Mirage, and for fourth, number 1, Trevor's Gift could bob up in the back end of first 4. 7, 4, 2, 1, race number 7.
7, 2, 4 and 5 for me. They didn't miss Barbecue Man too last week, Shorty.
Yeah, they did step in. It was off a bit of a freshen up there. Yeah, it was a very impressive performance. That move to really kick up hard into the first corner and just hold out. Hinto was sort of 90% across. Then Barbecue Man booted up really hard and just held it out, and that was the winning move as it turned out. From that point on, it was a great duel, but that inside running proved to be the key for Barbecue Man, who snuck home against the very talented Hinto.
All right, let's go to race number 8 on the program, Jimmy's Jet, till we get to see him again. We haven't seen him since the beginning of April. They've already stepped in from $1.60 into $1.50.
Yeah, I was surprised we saw $1.60, to be honest with you, Pete. This fellow has stamped himself as one of the most exciting young dogs we've seen here in WA for a little while. Sub 22 right the way through. Last time out 22.02. He's an absolute beauty, Jimmy's Jet, and Paul Stewart's done everything he can to try and play it down when I've spoken to him in regards to this dog, but he's box office. He's got some good things to come, Jimmy's Jet. I'm really looking forward to seeing him hoon around the track again tonight. No disrespect to the opposition, because there's some nice ones in this field, but I think with even luck, Jimmy's probably wins by a decent stretch. From number 1, Comfortably Numb, who from the good draw is certainly capable of being very competitive here. 2 Apache Havocs, another dog whose best work is certainly enough to see it hit the frame in a race like this. And I'll include number 3 in All About Court's next best. 5 pretty hot's not out of it either, but hard to see Jimmy's Jet being beaten on what we've seen in its career to date. 6, 1, 2 and 3.
I'll go 6, 1, 5, 2, 6 Jimmy's Jet on top. He picks himself. He's 3 from 3. He's broken 22 seconds. It's an outstanding chaser. He's got a massive future ahead of him. For second, number 1, Incomfortably Numb. For third, 5, Pretty Hot. And for fourth, I'll throw in 2 Apache Havoc. 6, 1, 5, 2, race number 8.
6, 1, 2 and 5 for me. Jimmy's Jet picks himself there in race number 8. And race number 9, number 2 comes out. So the favourite is with number 1, Our Girl Bloom, currently quoted at $2.90. With the scratching of Yaki Express, certainly is going to be very hard to beat for Justin Wood. Number 5, Brookton Blazer, 8, Bodacious Bow, and 7, Tulips Home. 1, 5, 8 and 7 for me.
I'll go with number 5 on top here, Brookton Blazer for Darren Rowe. The effort to win the maiden in 17-17 was good. Granted, that was from box 1, but with no greyhound drawn in box 6, small field, looks like a good opportunity for Brookton Blazer to return to the winners list. From 1, Our Girl Bloom, including greyhound number 7, Tulips Home, and 8, Bodacious Bow. 5, 1, 7, 8.
I've gone 5, 1, 7, 8 as well. Hopefully we can get the last race in after last night. The power went out at Mandurah before the 10 minutes before the last race, so hopefully we can squeeze this one in. Brookton Blazer on top, did qualify well in the 17.56, won a maiden really impressively in 17.17. From number 1 in Our Girl Bloom, for third, 7, Tulips Home, for fourth, 8, Bodacious Bow. 5178, race number 9.
All right, before we get your best, let's go to Ryan Levitsky. He took last night off. He went across just got back from Vegas after he had his American trip paid for by Brain Teaser a couple of weeks ago. We did pay him that credit. He missed it last week. It's been deleted. We can't play it again, but he's joining us online. I'm not sure if he's back from Vegas yet. Ryan, good morning.
Good morning, Pete. Good morning, everyone.
Sounds like you've just woken up in Vegas.
Yeah, I've got a bit of the man flu, Pete, so I am a scratching for tonight, but happy to be back on air this morning. And, yeah, Brain Teaser. I tipped Brain Teaser to my nana, and my nana had 10 each way. And, she's texting me for tips every day now.
Good on you. You've made a lot of our punters happy as well, so I'm glad your grandmother got on board. What are your best for tonight, please?
I really like race 4, number 7, West on Boomer. I know the price isn't all that flash, but I think West on Boomer will be beating those. Race 5, number 1, Crooked Kelly is on the up. And race 9, number 5, Brookton Blazer should be winning as well.
Is there a quaddie?
No quaddie at Mandurah, no.
Okay, across to tomorrow night's program where we have the final of the Group 2 WA Oaks.
Yeah, these are all the first two are short. Race 1, number 7, Chobe Star. Race 6, number 2, Tim on Lane. And my best bet for the weekend is race 8, number 1, Mohican Mistress. Hopefully each way odds. Box 1, worth its weight in gold to this dog. And a quaddie 2 and 4 into number 2, into 4 and 6, into 1, 5 and 6.
Okay. Anything over the weekend on Sunday, Monday or Tuesday?
No, I haven't looked, Pete. I haven't looked.
All right. You look after yourself, get over the man flu, and we'll look forward to having you back again next Tuesday. You'll be calling for us.
I will, Pete. I tell you what's great when you crook, NBA, American sports. It's just it's great to have something to have a little bet on and watch.
I used to love the Bond. I had an 8-leg multi coming up last night. I needed him to kick 1 goal, and he let me down, unfortunately.
Well, he had his chance too.
I know.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
In that last quarter.
Yeah.
I hear you, Pete.
Yep.
I hear you.
It was tough.
Tell you what was even more brutal, gentlemen. This is one of the sicker beats I've had in a little while. Ryan, you'd be well aware Ed Richards is enjoying a bit of time in the midfield. Got involved with him. Most disposals at a big price, 20 plus, 25 plus. Absolutely lit the game up. He was on 18 disposals at halftime, 90 seconds into the third quarter. Cops a head knock, bang, out of the game, confetti all round, and was on track for a 36 and would have been an absolute fill, got the lot. So it's an interesting caper, the punt.
And another one, I went with Tab Touch last night because they had a special for McDonald and also Norton to kick 2 goals each. Well, Norton kicks 1 early and then goes down. It was,
Yeah, it's a cruel game. It's a cruel game.
Well, I've got one as well.
Okay,
throw it in.
I had a same game multi, 18 to 1, and 5 legs, and Jack McRae was 1 disposal short.
19.
So,
oh dear.
Yep, 19.
It's sick beats all round.
We're victims.
Sick beats all round.
All right, Ryan, get over your man flu. We'll look forward to having you back next week.
All right.
Good on you. Ryan Levitsky. Yeah, it was a hard watch. Anyway, your best tonight, Jesse?
Race 1, box 5, Social Equity. Race 4, box 7 in West on Boomer. And race 9, number 5, Brookton Blazer. For a quaddie, we'll go 1-5, the first leg, Field in the Chase final. 4 and 7, the third leg. Standout 6, Jimmy's Jet in the final leg. What about yourself there, Shorty?
Better bets. I'm going to go race 3, number 5, Get a Beer. I'm wary of 8, Ike Bale, having heard that trial news, but I'm committed. Race 4, number 7, West on Boomer. Race 5, number 1, Crooked Kelly. And race 7, number 7, Hinto. I've taken doubles, trebles in the 4-pack with them. Quaddie-wise, 1, 5 and 6, leg 1. Second leg Field in that feature final. It could get messy. 2, 4 and 7 in the third leg, 6, 1 out in that final leg. What's that? 3, 3s and 9, 8's 72. So, yeah, you're looking at about $72 there for the punters that are looking to get involved. What I will say, though, is that you can trim things up a little bit and just take Hinto, if you'd like, in that third leg. And that trims it up even more to just $24. So good luck if you're playing along there at home tonight. Fingers crossed for a successful Friday night there at Mandurah, Pete.
All right, let's go across to this program coming up on Saturday night. We start off with a novice over the 520 metres, and the favourite in the first with Tab Touch is with number 7, Chobe Star at $2 and $1.20. A greyhound has been very, very impressive so far for Crystal Shinners.
It has, yeah, 100%, Pete. The last couple of wins have been really good. Like the way Hinto's going, it looms as the sort of logical Quinella play in the race, but I'll go with 7 and make it a special with that early pace to get across and be really hard to beat. So 7 from 1. Outside of that, number 3, Starlight Ariel will be really strong and hitting the line hard late. Greyhound that runs over the longer distances there. And also include number 2 in Scramble Button next best. 7, 1, 3 and 2. Make 7 a special. And the 1-7 Quinella looks a standout bet too.
I'll go 1, 3, 7 and 8. 1 Curo on top. Wasn't disgraced last week behind Chobe Star. Did break a 30 seconds in defeat behind Sunset Fraser when beaten 5 lengths in a heat of the WA Derby. For second, number 7 Chobe Star. Could be interesting here. There's a little bit of early pace here. Scramble Button's known to drop a 540. Same to Oriole Apprentice and Send It off its 380 metre form. Might be able to throw a thorn in the Chobe Star's armour. And if it doesn't get across, I think it makes the job a lot harder. For second, number 3, Starlight Ariel. For third, number 7, Chobe Star. And for fourth, number 8, Common Man has some decent form going into this race. 1, 3, 7 and 8, race 1.
I think he's got a fairly bright future, Chobe Star. A greyhound who's 1, 2 or 4 to date, and that win a couple of starts ago in that maiden was very, very impressive and didn't get everything his own way last start and showed that early speed. So I'm happy to go with him. I think he'll cross from number 1, Curo, number 3, Starlight Ariel, 2, Scramble Button, 7, 1, 3, 2, race number 1. Race number 2 over the 715 metres, and the favourite here is with number 2, West on Nugget at $1.45. Greyhound who won over the 600 metres last start was only a narrow victory, but got up in the last stride to nail Pudding Manelli and does look hard to beat. Probably a more preferential distance. Shorty, would you agree with that? 7:15?
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, West on Nugget, 7:15's the go. I'm really surprised at the value with Sky Manelli here. It's 1-4 on the bounce. That effort going back 3 starts ago to win here in 42.07 was really strong to the line. Sometimes these dogs, too, with a bit of a change up to Northam, can really go to another level. Sky Manelli's taking us a very similar path to what we saw with Jelly Manelli around Galaxy time. It sort of was just ticking along and all of a sudden has really matured. The step up in trip's been ideal. Clever trainer, Paul Kaltzis, and it's got Sky Manelli in a really good space at the moment. I don't think there should be that sort of price discrepancy because while West on Nugget won last week, it did only run 35.03. It's not like it's run the hands off the clock. I'm happy enough to be with the 6 at the price on top, Sky Manelli. From 2, they look a great Quinella, West on Nugget and Sky Manelli. Then number 8 in Penny Magic. And I'll also include number 4, Nifty Ned, who ran throughout last week at a big price. It got up at massive odds, so he's seeing them well. 6, 2, 8 and 4.
I'll go 2, 6, 8 and 4 with 2 West on Nugget on top. Back to the winners list last week with that good effort. Defeating Pudding Manelli, just got there in the nick of time. For second, number 6, Sky Manelli. Form's been really impressive over the 700. She's won her last 4. For third, 8, Penny Magic. She's always thereabouts in this company. In this race, lacks a little bit of early speed. She could get to the top cheaply. And for fourth, I'll throw in 4, Nifty Ned, last week's winner. 2, 6, 8 and 4, race number 2.
Exactly the same way for me, Jesse. 2, 6, 8 and 4. I think West on Nugget is going to be better than these on Saturday night, so West on Nugget for me. Race number 3 is over the 600 metres, and the favourite here is currently with number 5, Pudding Manelli at $2.80 and $1.30. A greyhound that's, for me at least, been a little bit costly over the 600 metres. I thought he would have won one by now. I'm not sure whether with the draw that he can win on Saturday night. I know he's come up as the favourite, but I'm happy to go with number 1, Sandy Basser, a greyhound who's only won 1 of 9 over the distance, has won from the inside draw, and a greyhound that I think can play a major part here, especially if he can find the top. From number 5, Pudding Manelli, not sure where he gets too early. Number 4, Acing Kuna, and 2, Soul Survivor. 1, 5, 4 and 2, Shorty.
Yeah, I've gone the same way each way, Sandy Basser. Pretty hard to punch holes in this dog's form since coming across to WA for Cosy D'Agostino. Gets a good look from box 1 and just under the each way odds. Worth a look from number 3, Stylish in Black. Up to the 600 metres here, but this dog's capable of running well under the 30. If it can get a look at the arm, it might run them along here. Number 5, Pudding Manelli. No knock on the dog, but as Pete alluded to, there seem to have been a few winning opportunities of late. And number 8, Stevie Manelli, doesn't mind a wide draw, could help to jack up trifectas and first fours. 1 each way from 3, 5 and 8.
I will go 4, 1, 5 and 2. 4 Ace and Kuna on top. Was a little bit disappointing last week when he got to the front pretty cheaply. I thought he would hold on a little bit better than what he did. He did cop a couple of checks. Prior form was good. He's a 29.76 winner in country class company from box number 2 going back 4 runs ago. Proven over the trip. He has got a reasonably quick personal best of 34.85. The second, number 1, Sandy Basser. Interesting, the drop back from the 7.15. Really didn't get it last week when leading all the way. For third, number 5, Pudding Manelli, very costly to follow, and I thought he had every opportunity to win that race last week. And for fourth, number 2, Soul Survivor, who had reasonably good form in provincial class company over the trip. 4, 1, 5, 2, race number 3.
Yeah, she was a little bit unlucky, I thought, Acing Kuna. Going into that first corner, she did get turned sideways.
Yeah, when you're out in front like that, Pete, you really should be booting away from some of those dogs, to be honest, not getting interference.
I think she bumped with Pudding Manelli, so there's not too many greyhounds run away from her.
Yeah, Pudding Manelli was just as disappointing, in all honesty.
Okay. Race number 4, he's a tough marker, isn't he, Shorty? Race number 4 over the 520 metres. The favourite here is number 5, Firelighter, at $3.20. A greyhound who was well supported in the final of the WA Derby last week. And, well, I thought he met with all sorts of interference. Jesse will probably tell us that he was disappointing. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I had a few teachers like Jesse. Well, at least that's what my reports would suggest anyway. Tough markers. But anyway, I love Firelighter here, and I think the 320 is delicious. I think that's a really nice price to snap up for the punters. Luckless last week in a Group 2 WA Derby final. Go back the week prior if you have any question marks. 29 and 56. Lit the joint up. I really like this dog. In great hands with Paul Stewart. Yes, please. Be getting heavily involved. 320's just a wonderful price, about a very talented young dog. From number 2, Burglemere, who's another dog that went round without much luck last week in that Derby final. Draws inside of Sunset Hornet, who can want to get up the track a little bit here. Then including number 4, Sunset Comanche, who will be, as always, rattling at them over the concluding stages. And number 8, Solidified's a dog that has had a wonderful career, and if it ever gets a good look at the arm, you know that it can run very slick times. 5, though, is one of my best bets of the weekend from 2, 4 and 8.
5, 1, 2, 4 for me as well. 5, Firelighter on top. Comes into a race with a lot less pace than last week's final. I think should get the job done. From 1, Sunset Hornet. I do like wide runners drawn inside, and she's had 2 starts from box number 1 for 2 wins. For third, number 2, Burglemere. He's always thereabouts in this company. And for fourth, number 4, Sunset Comanche. If there is some early interference, he'll be probing the fence and running home really strongly. 5, 1, 2, 4, race number 4.
I agree. Number 5, Firelighter. Forget the run last start. Just needs that galloping room early. There is some speed around him. Sunset Comanche and Seriously Lush, they can go early. And Golden Chopsticks has also got some early speed. But if he goes as quick as we know that he can go early, Shorty, he should be able to cross them and just find the top, find the arm, and he'll be hard to run down. So 5 on top from number 1, Sunset Hornet. Very good record from inside draws. For third, number 4, Sunset Comanche. And 8, Solidified. 5, 1, 4, 8 in race number 4. It's a very good mixed 4 and 5 graded race. It's almost free for all company. Race number 5, the Group 2 WA Oaks, a race that has certainly had a lot of very, very good winners that have won this race in the past. And currently we have Sunset Serengeti at $3.20. Miss Envy at $3 in from $3.20. Sunset Serengeti in from $3.60. And $5 about Sunset Lasso and also Shy Emoji. Do you think the bookmakers have the market right, Shorty?
I think I don't envy the bookmakers having to come up with a market on this race, to be honest. I think it's a pretty tricky affair. I'd have Sunset Serengeti, the Mandurah Oaks winner, as the favourite, just with a little more race experience. But I think you're probably clutching at straws if you're poking too many holes. I think it's an open race and the market's probably not far from where it'll start jump time. 2 on top for me, Sunset Serengeti. As I touched on, that Mandurah Oaks winner has gone as quick as 29.68 here in the past. Safe Getaway sees it right there in a prominent position. From number 3, Shy Emoji will be really strong. The last little part, I can see it playing a part. 7, Racing Barbie is a dog that I've been really impressed with. Draw doesn't look to be ideal, but like the way the dog's going. And 4, Miss Envy, I'm no knock, just the lack of experience and the fact that it's drawn the middle takes it sort of back a couple of pegs for me. 2, 3, 7, 4.
I'll go 3, 2, 4, 1. A little bit of value with Shy Emoji. Was a good second behind Racing Barbie last week when coming through the field. Before then, second to Bagnaya. So that's really good form lines. form at Mandurah was really solid. 19 starts over the trip for 4 wins and 7 minors. She's always thereabouts. She's going to give a bit of a head start early, but I think if she can find the nice run, she's going to be really prominent at good value. From number 2, Sunset Serengeti, another greyhound who's going to be looking to get back and run on. For third, number 4, Miss Envy. Like Shorty, just curious as to how she's going to go. She's giving up a lot of experience, and her first sectionals will be very good. They're not quite open class levels, 558, 551, 552. Considering Weston Miley went 540 last week, I think it looks like it's going to be the early leader. And for fourth, I'll throw on 1, Sunset Lasso, a greyhound who likes to step right out of the boxes, so it could be a bit of a nuisance value for Sunset Serengeti if it does happen to jump with them. So 3, 2, 4, 1, race number 5.
I think David Hoppy can win his first WA Oaks. It's remarkable. So many quality greyhounds that he's had over the years, Shorty, and he's never ever won a Group 2 WA Oaks.
It's the one that's eluded him, Pete. It's there wouldn't be too many races left on the calendar that Dave hasn't won multiple times. And particularly given how many high quality bitches he's had as producers over the years. So that's an interesting stat. Bit of a hoodoo race for him.
Let's hope he can win it on Saturday night so he can put it up onto his mantelpiece. Number 2, Sunset Serengeti. 4, Miss Envy. I think she's got a lot of upside. Might be a little bit early for her. 7, Racing Barbie. And number 3, Shy Emoji. 2, 4, 7, 3. Race number 5.
Crypto.
All right, while they continue to move in over the 800 metres, let's continue on. Apologies. Race number 6 is over the 600 metres on Saturday night. So which way are you going in race number 6, Shorty?
I didn't have much between 2 and 4 here, Pete. 2, Tim on Lane. 4, Hippie Trail, small field. Gives both of them a pretty good opportunity to be there at the finish. 1, Kenya Bonbon, and 6, Hole Shot, 2, 4, 1, 6.
I'll go 4, 2, 1, 8, 4 in Hippie Trail. It was a good run last week behind Nifty Ned. For second, 2, Tim on Lane. For third, 1, Kenya Bonbon. And for fourth, 8, Pumbaa Smith. 4, 2, 1, 8, race 6.
Tim and Lane's the $2.10 favourite on Tab Touched. I'm going that way for Jamie Marsh, a greyhound that just needs a little bit of luck early. Hasn't had a lot of that lately. I say 2 on top from number 4, Hippie Trail, who's been knocking on the door. For third, number 1, Kenya Bonbon. 8, Pumbaa Smith. 2, 4, 1, 8 in race number 6. Race number 7 on the program on Saturday night is also over the 600 metres, and 90 Mile Rose and Carter Axelrod almost equal favourites. So 90 Mile Rose $2.50, Carter Axelrod $2.40, Flying Frida at $3. And it's a very, very interesting race here. Carter Axelrod, a greyhound who was a smart last start winner down at Mandurah in quick time. We'll come back with your selections as we go at Gatton Confirmed. Okay, back to Cannington. So the favourite, Carter Axelrod, at $2.40. I'm going that way. I think that he'll be very hard to beat. He's at start number 50 at Cannington on Saturday night. From number 6, Flying Frida, I think she can certainly improve. Forget the last start run. Number 1, 90 Mile Rose, and 8, Pepper Grinder. 6, 4, 1 and 8.
4, 6, 1 and 8. Carter Axelrod.
4, 6, 1, 8, yes.
Yeah, it's a Shazam for me. 4, 6, 1 and 8. I've got 4 on top. Carter Axelrod. Not much between it and Frida. Frida will ping one of these nights and find the top, and it'll be game over. This could be that night, so I'm wary. Didn't have a lot between them. 1, 90 Mile Rose, just a little bit weary off last week. Any time that dogs sort of have a tumble, I'm just a little bit weary next time out. And then number 8, Pepper Grinder, will be strong to the line. 4, 6, 1, 8.
I've gone 1, 4, 6, 8. Like Shorty said, I am very weary when greyhounds do come back after a tumble, but I really like the map here. I think Carter Axelrod's going to hold Flying Frida out, and 90 Mile Rose should be able to get a beautiful rouse run. For second, 4, Carter Axelrod. For third, 6, Flying Frida. And for fourth, 8, Pepper Grinder. Geez, that was a nice run over the 652 off a short backup from the grueling 721 in Northam. 1, 4, 6, 8, race 7.
Race number 8's a very open betting market, $4.20 the field, with Steel Girl, the favourite, at $4.20. I don't have her in my top 4. Former Eastern States chaser that has run some reasonable times down at Mandurah. One of them in a satisfactory trial broke 17 seconds. But I thought Outlaw McGraw would be hard to beat for Michael Hine, a greyhound who's been knocking on the door, only beaten narrowly these last 2. Number 5, Obsessed Much, for Tracy Hine. So the Hines go head-to-head here. Has been racing well behind Terra County. Number 7, Conniption, and 1, Mohican Mistress, 4, 5, 7, 1.
It's a good field over the 380 metres to round out the quaddie. I've gone 1 on top, Mohican Mistress. From number 6, Steel Girl, for Sean Kavanagh. Have enormous respect for Sean. He only ever got a couple of greyhounds, but what he has generally proved to be prolific winners. I think Steel Girl will fit the bill. 5, Obsessed Much has got excellent early burn, one of the better 380-metre steppers in the caper, and 4, Outlaw McGraw, 1654.
I'll go 7, 4, 1, 3, 7, Connection on top, dropped to 21.68 4 runs ago. Was the winner in 22.8 when coming from behind, which is very uncharacteristic. Runs at Northam have been solid in free-for-all company and country class efforts, but back to Cannington 380 really should suit him. For second, number 4, Outlaw McGraw. For third, number 1 in Mohican Mistress. And for fourth, I'll throw in 3, Refer to Trader. 7, 4, 1, 3, race 8.
And race number 9, No Market Up with Tab Touch. Fishfinder was heavily supported and ran a really slick time in her maiden at least. She went 22 seconds at $1.60 favourite. She was beaten a couple of starts later at $1.50, Jesse. Have you got her in your top 4?
No, she's been very disappointing. 4 Wise Emperor on top. He was a good winner 2 back in 21.84 in maiden class company. Forget the run of novice class company, just missed the start and got into all sorts of trouble at the first corner. For second, number 8, Moment to Life, was a good novice winner on Sunday when defeating Bush Devil by a length, coming from box number 3. Steps out the box out. I don't think should worry you too much. For third, number 1 in All Grunt, and for fourth, number 3, Red Can King, 4, 8, 1, 3, race 9.
4, 8, 1 and 3 for Jesse. I've also gone the 4 on top here, Wise Emperor. From number 2, Security Guard. 8, Moment for Life, and 1, All Grunt, 4, 2, 8, 1.
Same 4 numbers, slightly different order. 4, 2, 1 and 8 for me. Wise Emperor on top for Michael Hine to have a winning double to wrap up the program. Your best and a quaddie, please, Shorty.
Best bets, Pete. Race 1, number 7, Chobe Star with a 1 and 7, Quinella. Race 2, number 6, Sky Manelli each way. 2 and 6, Quinella. Race 4, number 5, Firelighter. My quaddie, Field in the Oaks final, looking for a boil over. Just 2 and 4 in the second leg. 1, 4 and 6 in the third leg, and then home with 1, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. That's $2.88 for a full unit. Just under $30 will get you 10%. That's how I'll be playing it on Saturday night, looking to get a result in the main race and hopefully a nice result out of that last leg as well.
I'll go race 4, number 5, Firelighter. I thought that represented a really good price there. Race 6, number 4, Hippie Trail to finally break through. And race 7, number 1, 90 Mile Rose, I thought gets a really good map there, Pete. For a quaddie, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 and 7 the first leg. That's the Oaks final. The second leg, 2, 4. The third leg, 1 and 4. And home with 3, 4 and 6 in the final leg of the quaddie there, Pete.
And don't forget, there's a big jackpot, first 4 jackpot, Shorty, on Saturday night in the Oaks. I think we're expecting in excess of $50,000, close to $13,000 already in that pool.
Spot on, Pete. Yeah, you're on the mark there. And also, if you're looking for jackpots for this weekend and you love your greyhounds, tonight they're at Sandown. It's Sandown Cup night. And, of course, we have got a quaddie carryover of $20,000 on races 5, 6, 7 and 8. Be sure to get involved. First leg there tonight at 6:30.
Do you have a standout for the punters on the Sandown Cup?
Not so much. Well, obviously, Valpolicella, the star Queenslander, is going to be hard to beat, but it's not a one-dog race. I think Fast Minardi, the really talented Tasmanians in the mix. Kenya Amy, the talented New South Wales dogs, a super chance. Sunnyside Joe was a good run last week, and I think you want to definitely include the 6 in this race, Irish Millie. It went round at big odds last week, and it's at $34. It was beaten only a length and a quarter behind Valpolicella last week. The fave's $1.65. It's $34. There was only a length and a quarter between them last week. I think that's a big difference in price given how close it was last week. So make sure if you're having a quaddie in the first 4 on the race, you include number 6 at the big odds.
And the Queensland Carnival, Bunny Brash sent me a message during the week that Uncle Tommy and also Cannon Stark ran really quick times when trialling prior to their winter carnival.
Excellent news. Good to see a couple of West Aussies up there flying the flag. And yesterday when we spoke to Simon Orchard, there's a stack of New South Wales top liners that have headed up there early to trial and get ready for their series. So this could be one of the real top light Queensland carnivals we've seen for a pretty significant period of time, and they've been doing it well up there through the winter months for a really long period now, so looking forward to that.
We'll be out there on Saturday night, second last meeting at Cannington for a little while.
I will not be out there, Pete, but I will be punting on the program and I'll be tuning into your dulcet tones, hopefully cheering home a couple of winners on the program and filling up that Tab Touch account.
Good on you. Enjoy your weekend, boys. Good calling tonight. Jesse Erenshaw's got a tough gig. He's after this on race day and then straight down to Mandurah. He'll be calling all the action for us tonight with Ryan looking after his dulcet tones there.
Get going early, Jesse. The Friday traffic can be a killer down south.